So I'm going to talk to you now about 3 chord changing principles that will change your life. The first chord changing principle is keeping common fingers down. So I see a lot of self-taught guitarists, when they switch chords, they sort of teach themselves to lift up all their fingers to get to the next chords. Here's a great example. I'm playing an A minor chord here, so you check out my fingers that are down. And then, if I needed to move to a C chord, I might be tempted to lift up all my fingers and make my C chord, which of course, by the way, I'm building from low to high, right? Because I'm such a good student, I've already picked up that habit. Then I make a C chord. Now here's the problem. These 2 fingers never needed to be lifted up. Look at this. Here's my A minor chord. And now let me jump here to a C chord. All I needed to do was move my 3rd finger back and forth. And this happens often with chords where we can leave things down. Here's another one, F to C. Watch this finger, I don't even have to move it. So you'll see chord pairs where you're able to leave a common finger down often, and we're going to practice some of those in chapter 2. The second important principle of chord changing is keep a common shape together if you can. So the idea here, let's say I was going from a C chord to a G chord. So I see a lot of self-taught guitarists do this. They'll play C, and then they'll kind of look at G and they'll go, okay, well I can do this. I can jump my fingers way down here and play this G chord. But there's an easier way to do it. Look at the string relationships between these 2 notes and these 2 notes. Wouldn't it be easier to just hop this shape together down to these lower strings? So I could play C and then G. And I make much less movement with my left hand if I'm able to do it that way. Probably the best example, and one that we'll practice in chapter 2, is moving from A minor to E, because you literally move the entire shape back and forth between 2 strings. This also is an important thing to talk about here, which is what is our ultimate goal with changing chords? The ultimate goal is not to build a chord one by one, but it's actually to be able to, in the air, make the chord and just throw it down. So that's always where we're headed towards or working towards. But in the process, sometimes we have to use some of these tricks. So keeping common shapes together as we move is very helpful, and we'll practice a lot of those as well. And finally, the third tip to help you switch chords in an effective way is keeping what I call a guide finger down on the guitar. So what I mean by that is there are some times where we have a common finger that can stay down, but it may have to slide 1 or 2 frets to move to the next chord. So a good example of that might be from D to E. So if I look at a D chord and an E chord, I might be tempted now to just lift off everything and make my E chord. But if I can keep something down and just slide it, I get some stability. Watch this. I play my D chord, and I'm going to leave this finger down. As I lift, I can slide it, and then I only have to place these 2 fingers down. The whole time I've got some stability, and it makes my movement much easier. Another really good one, same starting point on a D chord. And now, this becomes my guide finger as I move to an A chord. So watch this. I lift here, I'm preparing as I move to A. So we're going to practice all of those things in chapter 2, but take note of those 3 strategies, and I'll review them for you once more. First, common fingers. Second, common shapes. And third, guide fingers. Any opportunity you have to practice how to get from point A to point B between chords by using these tricks is going to help you switch chords much faster.